right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Panther Nation Podcast, and I'm Rashad, and I have my co-host David on the phone on the line this time, and we've got our guys back. This is the third time we've seen Brent, and Ren will join us later, but we've got Brent back again for the third time this year, and he's got a lot to celebrate about. According against the Panthers. I mean, they beat us last time. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. But welcome back, Brent. How's everything going in Bucs Nation, in the
Man,
in the
thank you so
pewter
much
world?
for having us back on, and I gotta say it's finally good to get to see Dave again.
Yes.
We thought you were awesome, but it's good to see Dave, man. We kind of missed him. Man, Buck Station is an interesting beast. It really is, and this year has been it has been a pendulum swinging year. Like we have gone from man, this is the worst, to we're the greatest and we're going to the Super Bowl, all the way back to we need to tear the entire team down, all the way back to we're winning 3 Super Bowls, back to it just keeps going back and forth, and you know uh, we're in the middle of the pendulum swing back the other way, hopefully this time.
All right. So that I mean, yeah, that we Panther Nation, we're kind of good. I mean,
Hmm.
there's a lot going on. Dave, do you want to kind of talk about where we are as we had a huge blow up on our live call last night? And
Hmm.
man, we recorded live and it got so heated, because not between us, but just between the fans and how much pressure they put on Kyle Allen, and they think
Yeah.
to me they have MVP expectations for this guy, and he's an undrafted free agent, and and of course
But
the saying is we're winning in spite of him, and I just
Hmm.
don't like that saying, but I get where they're coming from. But go ahead, Dave. Sorry, I took your shine.
he's undefeated, never lost, man.
Never lost. That's a fact. That is a fact. He is
Undefeated, never
undefeated as a
lost.
starter. But yeah, I
But
mean, go ahead, Dave.
the thing is like right now this season we're 0-2 with Cam, we're 3-0 with Kyle,
Hmm.
and I think everybody after the Arizona game was like, all right, let's see what he does, and
Right.
then he had fumbleitis in the next game,
Well,
the following game,
he had fumbleitis in the Arizona game too. It was just overshadowed by the four
the
touchdown,
four TDs.
200 some yard game. So nobody talked about it, but he's had fumble problems every single game. To just be clear, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's a problem for sure. The fumbling
But
is
the
a
thing is,
problem.
he looked like an All Pro the first game this season, and he's looked very average the last 2 games. But
Hmm.
some of that is based on protection as well.
Facts.
So when you take those things into account, man, like Christian McCaffrey has single handedly has been a big factor in us winning all these games that we have won. But we
Hmm.
have to give credit to Kyle Allen where it's due, because if he didn't juke J.J. Watt, we probably would be 2-3 right now.
Right.
So it's just, I think people are already ready to go back to Cam. And while I understand why they want to go back to Cam,
Hmm.
I don't think they understand how the optics look completely. Because if we decide, and let's say we hypothetically, we don't know what's going to happen between you guys in London. But let's say hypothetically we beat you guys in London.
Right.
We go on the bye.
Right.
We come back. We got the 49ers, who could be undefeated. We
Right.
make the
Let's put an
decision to change to
asterisk by that.
Cam.
Let's put an asterisk by that. They played nobody, but go ahead, continue.
But either way, they still undefeated. Give them credit.
So is
They
Kyle
can't
Allen.
play nobody either.
So is Kyle
So
Allen, but nobody wants to give him credit. But continue, please, please. I
so
digress.
so we go. We decide to switch to Cam. Cam does not have a good game. We lose to the 49ers, and then everybody's going to be like, we should have never got off of Cam.
Kyle.
Brother, I got to tell you, what you are describing right now is what we went through in Bucks Nation last year, where Jameis, if you remember, Jameis was suspended for the first 3 games last year, right?
Yep.
Ryan Fitzpatrick comes out, lights it up
Mm-hmm.
for 2.5 games. You know what I mean? And Jameis only suspended 3. And they're like, okay, well, do we go back to Jameis or do we not? Do we go back to Jameis or do we not? And they're like, no, we're gonna hang out with Ryan for another while, but Jameis is still our leader, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
he's still our guy. And then we get out to another game, and all of a sudden it just uh, Ryan Fitzpatrick melts down because it's Ryan Fitzpatrick and that's what he does,
Yeah.
right? Um, he can't sustain
He
anything.
melts
That's a
down when he knows the job is his.
but see, this is
Yeah, yeah.
this is the difference though. See, Ryan Fitzpatrick has a history of doing this. We've seen this at
Sure.
several teams. We don't know what Kyle Allen is. We have no clue. I mean, we don't. He
Right.
doesn't. We just know he's an undrafted free agent, and we don't know where we're going with this. He could be.
Hmm.
He could be our Nick Foles. We just have
Right.
no clue. There's no precedence. But go ahead. Sorry.
You mean Nick Foles, who is on IR for the rest of the year
Well,
after catching a big old fat check?
Yeah, but he
no,
has a ring
my
too.
point
He has
is-
a ring and a fat check. So I mean,
Yeah. But I mean, my point to Dave's point about the optics of the situation. So we go back to Jameis. Jameis plays, and then he has a horrid game a couple of weeks later, and they bench Jameis and go back to Fitzpatrick.
yeah.
And Fitzpatrick can't do anything, so they bench him and go back to Jameis. And we spent this whole year last year going, who the hell's our quarterback?
Well, I don't think that'll happen. I think once they make the decision to go back to Cam,
It'll be
that's
Cam.
what we got to roll with, unless he gets hurt again.
No, you got to. Yeah.
But I just think the problem is that I don't think we should be going back to Cam if Cal's still winning these football games.
And I
Gotta
agree.
play the hot hand, right?
I
Yeah.
don't even think it's about hot hand, because the hot hand is not a great term. With the way Kyle Allen is playing, he has hot hands, all right, because he can't hold on to the ball. But the thing is I don't think that's an accurate term. But if the team is playing well and we're winning, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like it, and I mean, I don't. And listen, I love Cam to death. I want to see Cam healthy as he can get. We don't know how healthy that is. He was back at practice today. He didn't have the boot on. We didn't get to see what he did. But I've always said when he got hurt initially, the second time, and he was taking the rest, I always thought he would come back after the bye. I still think that's going to happen. I still think he comes back after the bye. But there's no need to rush him. There's no need to rush him back, especially if Kyle Allen's winning. And I agree with Dave. We threw this out a long time ago. If you throw him back in, and Kyle Allen's winning, the optics are crazy, and it doesn't even matter. There's no context behind it. There will be no context of the team we're playing. It won't matter. It won't matter. So, anyway, that is what it is. We've had that conversation. Ren, welcome, sir. Whenever
How you doing, Ren?
I'm good, guys. How are you?
Great
Sorry,
timing.
I'm trying to
All right,
figure out
man.
my camera and my sound. Sorry, I was late.
No,
I
you're
was
good.
doing that evil Panther P3 pod. Who are those?
C3.
With Dunn. C3?
Oh man, those guys. How long have you been rolling with them?
Before you guys.
Really? Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
You made it sound like it was a drug or something, man. How long you been rolling with them? How long you been taking
No,
that?
I was just curious. I didn't know. I had no clue. That's no
So
clue.
sorry I'm late. I ran a little long.
No,
but
no,
we
you're
ran
good.
late. Everyone's running late. But what's going on? Let's get
What's
into
up?
it.
No, you're good. You came in at
We've
a
been
perfect
into it,
time.
man. We're done.
Yeah, no,
Guys,
All right.
no,
See
you
Thank you very much.
no, you
Next year.
Glad I could show up.
you came in at the perfect time because we were just wrapping up the Kyle Allen discussion that we're Panther Nation. We're having this internal battle between Kyle Allen and Cam, whether or not Cam should come back if Kyle Allen continues to win. So we were just wrapping that up. So you came at a great time. So and then Brent just correlated that to what you guys went through with James and Fitzpatrick last year, which was great. So it was great. So we just wrapping that up. So if you have any thoughts on that, you can chime in.
Rashad.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got a question about that.
Yep.
Actually, I don't remember if it was you or Dave who had said, you guys are winning in spite of Kyle Allen.
Yeah, we are.
Right.
Well, the last two games we definitely did.
Yeah. So, like go into that because, I don't follow all the other teams out there. So we're
Yep.
getting ready to play with you. So talk about your team. This is your podcast. Talk
Yep.
about your team. Like, what is going well outside of the quarterback position for you guys that somebody like me needs to be worried about? Something that gives you guys hope going into this
Let me
game.
get this,
Christian
Dave.
McCaffrey.
Hold on. Let me get
The
this,
guy
Dave.
we shut down.
Yes, Christian McCaffrey, yes. But not only Christian McCaffrey, our defense is playing great. Okay, they're playing very well. The pass rush is insane right now. Brian Burns is playing very well. Albeit we're not healthy. We're not a healthy team by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, we put K1 Short on IR, so we're just rolling with Gerald. We got Gerald Kyle Love. We put Chris Hogan on IR. Dante Jackson's banged up. He just returned to practice this week. Eric
should be
Reed's got a
playing.
Eric Reed's got a bum ankle who didn't practice all week and then played and had a hell of a game. But our defense is playing really well. And you can credit McCaffrey. And he deserves it. He deserves a lot of it. But I credit our defense primarily for keeping us in games and allowing the offense to go out there and do what they do. It's our defense that's carrying us. To be 100% frank, it's our defense.
But
Mario
it's
Addison.
I think it's a combination. But to put in perspective for McCaffrey,
Mm-hmm.
he even with the bad game we had against you guys for the Thursday nighter,
Mm-hmm.
he's still on pace to break the all-purpose yards record for the NFL all time. He's still on pace, which is insane.
Yeah,
Right.
he's having a crazy year. And then not only that, I didn't even mention the offensive line issue. So you got Greg Little who's he's got concussion issues. So he's been out. Darrell Williams got destroyed against Shaq Barrett. So Shaq Barrett relieved him of his duties at left tackle. So he's now at right guard because Trey Turner's hurt. And all that being said, Christian McCaffrey's still going off, and we're still winning football games. Everybody wants to talk about Kyle Allen this, but dude, look at the hodgepodge line that's in front of him. Like, would you feel comfortable like back there doing? I mean, he's getting a lot of pressure. Like nobody's talking about that. So there's a lot of things going on, and
And I gotta tell you, he's probably gonna get a lot of pressure this week.
Oh, for
if that's
sure.
the case.
for sure.
Because
We played.
there's a strength in our defense. It is the pass rush.
Oh
It
yeah,
is that defensive line all the way across. Especially you mentioned Shaq
Well,
Barrett,
to put it,
and Ndamukong Suh.
Yep.
You know,
you're right.
but to put it into perspective, what happened last week against the Jaguars, we kept Greg Olsen back to block. So you might see a lot of that this week as well.
is that why he didn't have any?
Yeah.
He didn't have a single catch.
And I've never been so mad at Greg Olsen before in my life.
Yeah, no
You
catches.
talking? I lost some money, bro.
Oh,
Then to put it on top of it, I didn't play Will Fuller, so even though I had a high score, I lost a lot of money because of that. Because Olsen was my tight end, but as soon as I saw him, he was at the line blocking. He blocked a lot
A lot.
with the Jacksonville game to
But so
suppress that
the
pass
thing
rush from them.
the thing is though, I think let's rewind. Let's go ahead and talk about the first game because you guys did beat us 20-14 and at Bank of America and
Mhm.
I mean that game was wild. I mean Cam Newton supposedly re-injured his foot that game and was unable. Clearly he was not running the ball. He didn't even run on fourth and one. Fourth and one at the goal line. Cam Newton does not do a QB sneak. You know something's wrong there. So all that said, I mean Christian McCaffrey got shut down. Greg Olsen did have a nice game against you guys last game. Curtis Samuel had a nice game. Our receivers had nice games. It's just a matter of we didn't finish. And you credit to your defense because your defense is great. I mean you have the best defensive line in the game statistically right now. Especially against the run. Excuse me. I don't know about statistically as a whole, but against the run, you guys have the best defensive line, and I mean it's great. I mean that you slow down Christian McCaffrey enough, it's going to change it to where we've got to reevaluate some things. And so, but again, it was a goal. So what were your thoughts on the first game? How did you see it going from your perspective?
Well, I don't know if you remember when I was on with you last time. It was like, it's going to be the fourth quarter, and whichever quarterback doesn't do something dumb
Yeah.
is going to win. Neither of them did anything dumb. It was very much a defensive struggle. I feel very lucky as a Buck fan to get out of there with the win. You give that situation Christian McCaffrey the ball with, having to go a yard, 2 yards for a first down, 4 yards for a touchdown, and the person out there to stop him is Vernon Hargreaves, or pretty much, honestly, anybody else in the NFL. Christian McCaffrey scores 95 or gets the first down 95% of the time, probably gets in the end zone 90% of the time. So to sneak out of there with a win, I thought we were lucky, but this is a totally different ball game.
Yeah.
And you guys have talked about it. Your offensive line is patchwork. Our whole right side of our offensive line is going to be new. One guy broke his arm. One guy pulled his hammy.
We saw that.
So we'll have backups over there. We're running the ball well. We've pass blocked very well, except for the Saints game where it was rough. Jameis didn't have a lot of time. He was sort of running for his life. You're not going to be the same team. Like here's the real question is if the Bucs can do anything like they did with McCaffrey week 1 or excuse me, game one, I should say, where is the offense going to come from you guys? I mean, it's we make nobody quarterbacks look like Joe Montana. Like we've done it ever since like sort of Hargraves has been here. It's rookie quarterback comes in, throws for 300. Bridgewater has played 2 games and 3/4 of another game, threw 1 touchdown, throws 4 against us, averaging 185 yards a game, throws 300 yards against us. So I'm not saying that Kyle Allen, even though he's sort of a game manager winning despite of him, he's going to have some positive plays. But where's if you got to keep Greg Olsen in, like what are you guys doing? Like how are you going to expect to win a game against a team that stops the run best than anybody else in the NFL?
Yeah, no,
That means
that's a
DJ
great.
Moore and Curtis Samuel got to go ham sandwich on you
So
guys.
so the thing with our offense, and you've been seeing a lot lately, is that there's a lot of movement. So you got a lot of Curtis Samuel coming out. We came out against the Jaguars. We hit 2 reverses, a fake reverse, and we ran the same play like 17 times in that game, and it was just the same play but different looks each time. One time we were handing off to Curtis. And it's about misdirection. So hopefully, I mean, we can get other people involved. I don't know. I think you're gonna have to see a lot of Curtis Samuel. You're gonna have to see a lot of DJ Moore. And if Kyle Allen can hit those guys, I mean, that's what kept us in the game last time. Because you shut Christian McCaffrey down last time, but then allowed Greg Olsen to get off. You allowed DJ Moore to get off. You allowed Curtis Samuel to get off. And I think what happened, especially in last game, is that I think what really changed the game was that Christian McCaffrey only had 2 receptions for 16 yards. That's a problem. I think what's gonna hurt you guys this time is if Christian McCaffrey is involved in the pass game, and I saw it against we saw it against the Rams. I think Gurley had a couple catches. He had more receiving yards than he did rushing yards, and then Kamara was able to get involved in the pass game. So you've got to see Christian McCaffrey in the pass game. If he's not getting involved in the pass game, then it's not going to be pretty. So I think if you can shut Christian McCaffrey down in the pass game, it's going to be a long game from our offense perspective. Dave, anything to add to that?
Yeah, I think the key is to make sure McCaffrey gets more than 2 receptions.
And can I just add that although Shaq Barrett is a beast, I'm just hoping we can slow him down a little bit better with Darrell Williams not at left tackle. I mean, just slow him down a little bit. I mean, that'd be nice. Just get in the way, maybe.
Yeah,
Put a hand on
I
him.
think I think it's unbelievable how better the line has played since we moved Darrell to the right, man. And he's losing. We were talking about it yesterday. He's losing money every week that goes by because as soon as Trey Turner comes back, he might not have a spot on that line.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
which is
So,
sad.
we put a rookie, a 6th-round pick, as to start the game on Sunday, and he did pretty
He
well.
played well. Yeah, he played well. I think he only allowed 2 pressures, but again, Shaq is a different beast. So we'll see what I don't know. That is a great question. I have no clue. I trust Norv to figure it out. That's why he gets paid the big
Yeah,
bucks.
and,
I mean,
I'll
because
tell you,
it's gonna
I don't know how
be
much I truly buy into these kinds of things, but Shaq didn't get any sacks last game, and he needs one more to catch another $250,000 bonus.
that's
Like
crazy.
one more sack,
I
and
saw
he gets
that
another
tweet.
$40 million.
I saw that.
So,
Yeah.
so,
He is looking. He
so
is
if
running.
so if Ron Rivera loses his mind and decides to put Darrell Williams back at left tackle, he'll get his sack. But
Yeah,
hopefully he will not lose
yeah.
his
I'm
mind. and we
hoping.
will not see Darrell Williams at left tackle.
Yeah.
So.
I'm hoping we got to move the pocket. Kyle Allen is mobile enough, and I think that was a problem last time. You had Cam Newton, the statue, back there, which Cam Newton, the statue, is not gonna. I mean, Kyle Allen is mobile enough to at least move out the way, and run if he has to. So I think that may help a little bit, but again, I don't expect Kyle Allen to beat anybody with his legs. I'm just saying he's mobile enough and has his pocket presence isn't great, obviously, because every time he gets touched, he fumbles the ball. It's literally like if you can put your hands on him, like there's a 99% chance that he's gonna fumble the ball. That's pretty much been the way it's been going.
Especially
So
get him from the blind side.
yeah, so.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, no, it's a fact. It's a fact. I think he has every time he's been touched. I think against the Jaguars, he didn't drop the ball. He got hit a
Not
couple
every time, but he
times.
did it a few times.
But he did it. He did it a few times, and then prior to that, every time he got touched, he dropped the ball. Every single time.
Yeah.
Every time he got sacked, he fumbled.
Gentlemen, it's our defense isn't what we thought it would be. Our corners aren't holding up very well. We do stop the run well, so that's strength on strength. Our offense is up and down. So far it's been more up than down, even though we haven't won all the games. We have put up 28 points in the first half, more than once. But I'm telling you, man, your defense, like you said, that's how you've been winning. I think your defense is good. I think it's a division game, and honestly, I think it's a race to 24. Like whoever gets 24 points first wins. And it's probably going to take a defensive score from one of the two teams to get there.
Well,
this is
on,
this is not going to be a pretty football game.
yeah. And on the positive side, our defense did score last game, so hopefully we
There you
can
go.
we can get that we can repeat that performance as Brian
I think,
Burns got
yeah,
a
Brian Burns,
touchdown.
with y'all right side of the line causing is injured right now. Brian Burns is going to be an issue for you guys on Sunday,
And
man.
not only that, I mean, nobody's talking about Mario Addison. I mean, Mario Addison is number two. I mean, albeit what 2.5 sacks behind Shaq, he is number two. So he's having a quiet year because Shaq is playing out of his mind. But Mario Addison is no slouch. He's the one that caused the fumble, which allowed Brian Burns to get the touchdown. And he pushed Andrew Norwell right into Minshew, and I've seen Andrew Norwell with my own two eyes. That's a big human being. Andrew Norwell is huge, and so I mean, and Addison is a smaller defensive end or linebacker, or whatever position you want to peg him at. So he's been playing well. So again, I trust our defense. Ron Rivera calling the defense. It's much different than it was last year. He's taking the reins, so I trust the defense enough. I think Bradbury's done well enough against Mike Evans. He has a good history against Mike Evans. Now, Chris Godwin's a whole nother story, especially if
I'm worried about him with Dante. I wonder if they're going to swap. I wonder if Bradbury are going on Godwin this time.
I don't think it's a good matchup for Dante because Mike Evans' height. Dante's is a smaller, albeit quicker, but Chris Godwin snapped on us last game, and Dante, if he does play, which it looks like he is coming off a groin injury. So that's not great for that matchup. So I do expect Chris Godwin to get his as he has all season long. My concern, though, lies in the run game. You guys have been, not Peyton Barber, but just the run game in general has been rather successful. And we have been susceptible to the run. We can be beat in the run game. And so my concern is if we don't stop the run, it's going to set up Jameis to do some things like he did last game. And games where he has been successful, it's been because the run game has been established. Am I wrong on that?
No, you're not wrong. Ren?
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't watch
Look
enough
at-
Bucs, to be
Our,
honest.
our run game has been much better this year.
It's been good every game, and we're 2-3.
Yeah. Except
You
for
know, that's what it's hard to say. It's like the run game has been there, and it hasn't been there for a couple years, and it's been there. We haven't always go for 100 yards, but our average has been very good, usually over 5 yards, sometimes 6.7 yards, a carry in these ball games. But yet we're 2-3. It's like we put up 20 points at halftime, and then they come out of halftime and they're down by 10 minutes into, 5 minutes into the third quarter. It's like it's been a real funky year. It's like when the offense is hot, the defense isn't. When the defense is hot, Jameis throws 3 pick sixes. There was one game where the offense had to score 55 points. We had to score our most amount of points we've ever scored in franchise history. And before that fumble, the other team had the ball at midfield going in to tie it, and we had 4 turnovers.
Yeah, I watched that game. The
That
entire
was a
game.
game, though.
It was
It
a great
was
game.
fun to watch, yeah, but you're up 21-0, and you get 4 turnovers, and you're fighting for your life with a minute and a half left in the game. That shouldn't happen.
I agree.
Right.
It just shouldn't happen. So it's all about the defense. It doesn't matter if we run the ball. It doesn't matter if it's Evans or Godwin or Howard. Like, we're going to move the ball, okay? Not as easily as we do against some other teams because your defense is very good. Our offensive line running has been good. Besides the Saints game, blocking has been good. It's all about who shows up on defense. And,
Yeah.
there was a lot of guys that were wide open for you guys in the Panthers game, but Cam just couldn't get him the ball. Mostly because Shaq Barrett was making him throw it early, and
Yeah.
Cam was throwing off his back foot.
Well, he does that
But
anyway,
if
though.
Allen stands in there and delivers it and takes it to the chops or gets a clean pocket,
Yeah.
I just don't trust our backfield. I don't. There's it's a bunch of second year guys.
Yeah.
It's a new system. They're gelling. As bad as our defense was last year in the secondary at the pass, we're worse this year.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah, Todd Bowles got all this praise. Our defense has given up 30 points 3 times in 5 games.
Yeah, I mean,
So the thing is, man, like
that's interesting.
I play a lot of daily fantasy.
Sure.
So typically, like Monday morning, I look at the lineups, and the first thing I do, I found out who Arizona's playing, so I can put the tight end in, and then I put Christian McCaffrey in. Unfortunately, I cannot put Christian McCaffrey in because we're playing at 9:30 in the morning.
Right.
All right.
But they're doing a single game slate, so I'm going to play it. So my big debate right now is which running back I play for you guys, whether it's Barber or Jones, or stay away from both of them.
What are your choices, Barber, Jones, or the rest of the NFL?
No, just them two, because there's only one game.
Oh, you got to play somebody, right?
I don't have to. I got to play a buck. I have to play at least one buck.
Oh, if you're going to play one buck, I would. The safest bet is Chris Godwin.
Yeah.
You got to play
If I
Godwin.
can afford them, right? Because
Okay.
it's a budget.
I would say Godwin, Evans, Rojo. No, I would say Godwin, Evans, Jameis, Rojo. And that's really it.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say Jameis. Don't discount Jameis. He's had a 100 passer rating or better in each of his games, despite the outcome. And actually, I was just looking up Jameis to see what he's been getting in fantasy.
He's been doing okay.
Yeah, it's
So while you're looking that up on the same
Yeah.
lines, we had a couple questions from our people. Two
All right.
questions. What the hell happened to Mike Evans last game? I had him for fantasy. So that, and then what's going on with what's going on with OJ Howard too? What's the deal? Because he had high expectations, and it doesn't look like it's, from our perspective, doesn't look like it's really working out. What's the deal with those two
Right.
players?
Well, here's what I want you to do. Go back to those same people who asked you those questions.
Mm-hmm.
Ask them to come up with an explanation just out of thin air. That's just as likely to be as right as anything else you can talk about.
I think I know what happened with Mike Evans.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
man.
listen. Look.
I know what happened with Mike, but OJ's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, they keep saying they're just not finding the ball. The ball is just not finding them. The ball is just not finding them. I don't. Ren, did you get to go back and look at this game at all? Look at the all 22, because we had even talked about it on our show earlier this week with Mike specifically. Like, was he just doubled literally the entire game, or what's going on with him? Ren, did you get a chance to go look?
Yeah, he wasn't. For
Yeah.
some reason, here's the problem, and here's the problem with this. And maybe this will help you out on your daily fantasy or however you do it. Jameis Winston will literally do exactly what the coaches tell him to do.
Okay.
And if they say that Lattimore versus Mike, there's better matchups out there, then he won't throw to Mike.
But here's
he
the
won't-
thing.
He won't.
That
do
sounds
it.
right though. That sounds about
and,
right.
and with OJ Howard, Bruce Arians called him out after the game. He's like, he needs to get open.
Yeah.
He just needs to get open, and that may be true or not. Like I'm with you guys. Like, I don't care if you're facing Lattimore or Xavier Woods or whoever. Mike Evans is too good of a wide receiver not to get at least 7 targets.
For sure.
Okay.
And you know what the weird thing is, man? Because before Sunday's game, I looked at the target distribution between for all your receivers for the Bucs.
Mm-hmm.
Evans and Godwin was pretty much at the same, between the 20 and 25% target share range. So to see that the disparity in Sunday's game was kind of hard to watch. And then now, likely Evans will probably be going up against Bradbury, and Bradbury's been playing pretty good this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm leaning toward, like you said, was Godwin. I gotta be confident that Bradbury's going to be shadowing Evans. Going to be on Evans.
If you can't afford Godwin, go with Rojo. Here's the thing. You're looking at it as a whole. Like when when Evans played against you guys, Bradbury, they didn't throw to him. They didn't
Yeah.
throw to him.
That
You know
makes
who? You
sense.
know when they threw to him? When he got Janoris Jenkins and the Giants. He had 3 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
That makes
totally
sense.
playing matchups.
That
So
makes complete sense.
if I was somebody who bets, I would not bet Mike Evans has a great game against the Panthers because of the way they're treating it. They're like,
Yeah.
look, Jameis, yes, Mike can catch the ball. Yes, he'll get open. He's their best corner. This guy over here on Godwin can't cover him. Throw him the ball. This linebacker here, not Kuechly, of course, obviously, but somebody else, they can't cover O.J. Howard. Throw it to him. Their edges, they got, their corners are not good tacklers. We're going to do a lot of swing pass to
That's
Rojo
true.
and Barber, get them out in space and see if, the same thing you guys do with CMC. And that's what happens. He's learning in this offense. They're telling him don't make bad mistakes don't turn over the ball. And lesson number 1 is find the best matchup. Not necessarily like this is my guy, he should do it, because he did that for 4 years.
Yeah. And
He forced balls to Mike all the time.
yeah,
And it didn't work out.
and that sounds like definitely like some elementary stuff, but it really seems like that's what's going on. Like I can definitely
what's
see.
going on.
No, I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying that that makes complete sense, as elementary as it is, because Mike Evans is too good, and they're just he should be getting targets, and they're just going away from it for that reason. But that just makes complete sense. But so Dave, about this game on Sunday, we travel to London. Are there any predictions on this game? What are your thoughts on the game? Give me a score. Give me a win-loss. Give me something.
I agree with Ren on the 24 thing, man. I think it's going to be first to 24. I think we're going to get there first.
Ugh.
Of course I'm going to say that. Look, man, I got a quarterback that's undefeated right now. He's 4-0 as a starter. What more do you want from me? So I'm going to pick.
Passes down the field.
I think we're going to
Make
win
a tough
20.
throw. Don't fumble. Things like that.
Don't
Yeah, I know,
fumble.
but
Yeah.
we're going to fumble like crazy. We
Please
still win
don't
these
fumble.
games. I swear, as soon as I see Shaq Barrett for the first time come around the corner and smack him and the ball bounces, I'm going to be like, yep,
Yo,
Cam's coming after the bye. We're about to lose this game.
I already called that, but yeah. So, Brent,
I'm
Ren,
thinking 24-21 us, man.
any
I think we're gonna go to London and get it. Fa Obata is gonna have a good game. He's coming home. He's gonna have a good game. You're gonna be like, who the hell is Fa Obata? He's from London. He beat the odds to make the team. He's gonna have a good game.
I remember that guy.
Yeah.
I watched. Was it All or Nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him. I knew that. I knew that.
So Brent, Ren, any predictions on the game? How do you see it going?
Rashad, every time I'm on this show, you ask me for
I
a
do.
prediction.
Every
man.
single
I give
time.
you the same answer every time. I don't make predictions, but I'm going to break that rule for you right
Nice.
now.
I appreciate
and I'm going to completely disagree with Dave. Something we haven't talked about, something I don't think you guys know about, and this is going to make all the difference in the world. You mark my words. Actually, I don't know if that's true or not, but the Bruce Arians and his staff have developed this or hired this huge sports science division where they have these guys, like, they've already switched their body clocks to London time. They've been eating British food for the last 2 months and drinking water that's been flown in from England. So like they're used to this whole thing. Like half the team is speaking with a British accent right now. They are acclimated. They're ready to go. They're going to be ready to play. Also, it sounds to me like both of our offensive lines are a bit decimated right now.
Facts.
At least one half of ours and maybe your entire offensive line. You've got a rookie quarterback who has an issue fumbling. We have a fifth-year quarterback who used to have an issue fumbling, but he's figured it out, and he's the best scrambler in the game. And that being said, no, Ren's shaking his head. No,
Yeah,
I'm saying I don't care.
I can't agree with that, but go ahead.
Buccaneers get to 24 first, and I think that this is going to be a 28-13.
Oh no,
Wow.
I can't get with that. I can't get with
Christmas
that.
average pretty damn good.
I
Yeah,
can't get
you're
with
being
that.
very disrespectful to
Yes,
the man
but,
that's
but
undefeated and never lost.
I do think Shaq Barrett though, and I'll
Never
call it.
lost.
Never
Shaq Barrett
lost.
not only records his 10th sack, he'll record his 11th and his 12th as well.
3.
Wow,
I can't see that happening.
I'm gonna go with that.
hat
Three
trick.
This
sacks,
this is
Shaq
great
Barrett.
though.
Hey, listen, he's had 4 already, and he's had 3 in a couple other games. So he got to 9, and he did that in 4 games. So, you know, uh, the man's doing it. So that's my prediction.
Great prediction
Ren?
though. Ren, you got anything?
As I always do when I predict a Panthers game, I go very morbid. Your plane's going down over the Atlantic. We win
Oh
one
shit.
nothing in a forfeit. Sorry about your luck. No, okay. It's a race to 24. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I don't think the Bucs bottle up McCaffrey like they did last week. I do think they get to Allen. I think he turns over the ball 3 times at least.
Oh.
Jameis is going to be baited into a pick by Luke Kuechly, and a very ugly game that's going to be won on defensive turnovers. I think the Bucs get more, and we end up getting a game-winning field goal from plus 60 yards from super phenom muscle leg Matt Gay to beat you guys 58 to nothing.
You
He's
know
better
what?
plus 60 yards than he is.
The fact that he said 58 to nothing. You guys are very disrespectful.
You know what's crazy?
Undefeated,
You know what's
never lost,
crazy?
man.
Like
Never lost.
never lost.
Yo,
Ren,
man, when he played that bit, I was in the stitches.
so Ren, last time you did predictions, you did actually pretty well. 'Cause I remember you saying that we're gonna hit 100-yard rushing. I'm like, as a team, and I'm like, dude, I don't think that's gonna happen. And you guys
Right.
hit 100 right on the head. So as wild as your predictions sound, a lot of them come true. So
Well, it's
for
not going to be 58 nothing. I'm
No.
sticking to my 24.
Yeah.
I'm sticking to my 24. I think we're going to win on a late field goal, and I really think it's going to be a game where both fans at some point really want to pull their hair out because it's going to be offensively. I just feel it's going to be putrid. I think Todd Bowles is going to show this kid stuff he's never seen before. Like you said, you got a lot of like a mash unit there on the offensive line. Your defense is very, very good. If Jameis comes out hesitant, is going to see the same game he had against the Saints, which is like sort of like no rhythm, just scrapping and clawing for every point, and it's going to come down to whoever gets again, as it always does, that teams know each other, and like let's face it, we're 8-8 teams, guys. That's where we are. That's who we are.
I agree
And
there.
so somebody's going to have the ball with 2 minutes left, and they got to go score, and somebody's got to stop them. And I just think the Bucs win this one because I don't fear your offense. I don't fear your receivers. I don't fear if you're keeping Greg Olsen in. Well, Jesus, that's going to be. He was your only weapon that
The first game.
showed up. Yes, some receivers were open and deep, but I don't know, man. It's like I said, I think it's going to be a really ugly football game.
So I agree. So one thing about this Panthers teams, I definitely don't think we're gonna get blown out for sure. It's gonna be close. We're always gonna be within a couple points if we do lose. I think Kyle Allen will have a turnover. I think he'll fumble. I think probably caused by Shaq Barrett. I'll give him that sack fumble. I think we get to Jameis 4 times. 4 times. He gets sacked 4 times. You guys got a hodgepodge line
the
too.
best scrambler in the NFC South.
Ha 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 ha.
He is the best scrambler in the NFC South.
Is he better than Teddy? Can Teddy scramble? I don't know. It's a legit question. I have no clue.
The answer is yes, he is. He is better.
Okay.
He's a magician back there.
And I'm not even speaking as a fan. I'm just speaking as a guy who's watched him over the last couple of years. And, woo.
He's good against the blitz. The only reason I said no to Brent because he's not, he's just not Russell Wilson, and no one is.
No one's Russell Wilson. But yeah, I think
Man, you can't bring up Russell Wilson.
You said the best in the NFL. Russell
did.
Wilson's in the NFL.
Russ is.
I
Russ
think
is
I'm allowed
best
to
in
bring
NFL.
him up. He's even in the NFC. You can't even say the best in the conference.
Yeah.
All right.
Either one is right.
Jameis
He's
Winston's
an
the
MVP,
best
he's an
scrambler.
MVP candidate. He is an MVP candidate this year. I think right now it's Russ, Patton, and
McCaffrey.
are probably the 3 MVP
Yeah.
in my eyes.
I-
And
and I-
Shaq Barrett.
It depend. Yeah, I think he could be in the discussion. Depending if he could be, if he
When
stays
the
on this
last
track,
defensive player win the MVP?
I don't know,
It's
but
been a long time.
and it depends how
I don't
successful you
know.
guys are. You gotta
I think it
start
was
getting some.
Desmond Howard at Michigan.
Gotta,
The NFL won't let it happen.
gotta start getting some
He's
W's.
got to
though.
get like 40 sacks or something, man.
Yeah, he's
Didn't
gotta get
J.J.
up there.
Watt win it?
No.
No?
No.
Defensive player of the year, sure.
All right. Anyway.
That's like the consolation prize. Like that's what McCaffrey's going to win. He's going to win offensive player of the year if he can't win MVP. That'll be his for the taking if he keeps this up.
Yeah.
They don't want to give him MVP.
But I guess as far as my prediction goes, I think the Bucs do get the win. I don't know that Kyle's is there yet. I think there's going to be too much pressure on him from a passer's perspective, and I don't know that he will develop enough in time to make this W happen. But I think it's close. I think it's going to be like I'm gonna go 20-17 Bucs.
So I'm on
2017
an
Bucs.
island is what you're telling me, Rashad.
Yeah, you were on the island last
So
time.
I'm the
too.
only one that's going to get ready for these options looking bad in 2 weeks after this bye when we switch to
Hey man, hey look,
after being going
I will gladly
after being 4-2.
I will gladly predict a loss and be pleasantly surprised if we win. So listen, I'm a realist, man. Kyle's got a long way to
That's the
go.
way to do it.
Yeah, Kyle's got a long way to go. He's gotta figure it out. And I don't. The Bucs defense is really good. And I don't know if he can. He's played well against bad secondaries, but I just don't know. The pressures that pass rush is a whole different beast. So I don't know. I just don't see it happening.
I think McCaffrey's going to do a little bit better this game.
I do. I agree with that. But it won't be
Can't do any
enough.
Worse.
It won't be enough. Yeah, he could. And
Nah, you ain't kidding, man. It was rough.
he could do
It
worse.
was. And you still
was bad,
almost
though.
won.
And we still almost. That's what I'm saying.
insane,
That's the
man.
crazy part. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's not, because then the Rams tried it and did it, and then the Giants did it. Oh, but they actually did
They
pull
did
it
win.
off.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a great point.
Yeah, but they pulled it off after Saquon Barkley went out of the game.
True.
Yeah.
Which is
Which
With
is
a
even
rookie quarterback,
which is even
first
crazy.
start ever,
Crazy.
by the way.
All kind of crazy.
making
stuff
Dave
going on.
Gettleman look like a genius for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So that being said, I think we're gonna wrap things up. We never want to call Gettleman a genius, but especially for our fan base hates him. But anyway,
Well, here's the thing, right? He
Go ahead.
lost his genius when he decided to trade OBJ. So
I think he lost his
let's
genius
think
long
they
before.
still had OBJ.
I think he lost his genius long before that, Dave. But we
Yeah,
won't open that up.
know.
But anyway, all right. That being said, guys, thank you for joining us again.
Sure.
Round 3.
It's been fun, man.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we'll see you guys. Well, no, we'll see if we can bring guys back on one more time for shits and giggles. How about that?
Yeah.
Right.
And if not, hopefully we'll play each other next year.
Or in the playoffs at some point. You never know, man. Anything
never know,
could
man.
happen. Anything could happen.
Okay.
It's early. It's early. It's early. The only
guys-
people that are out of it are the Dolphins and the Redskins.
If you guys make the playoffs, I'll eat my phone.
Oh, us.
Be
Us
careful
make the
there, sir.
playoffs. If we make the playoffs. Wow.
Yeah. He thought I was laughing at us? Oh.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. That being said, we out of here, man. Thank you guys for joining again. Go check out the Pewtercast. You guys want to outro yourselves? Or I think we might have our fan base knows who you guys are, but you guys can outro yourselves if you want.
I think, is Brent frozen?
I don't know.
No,
Nope.
he's not.
I haven't seen.
Outro ourselves. Want me to go first?
Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I was having trouble hearing Rashad. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry about that.
It's all right. All the jabs Panther fans I've been taking, I'm just teasing with you guys. There's no one, but I will say there is no one I like beating better than the Panthers in this whole division. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with the fan base. Maybe it's the ugly helmets with the sparkles in it and the teal. I don't know. But if you want to talk Buccaneers football with me, because why wouldn't you? You love the Panthers. Come talk Buccaneers football with me. Best place to find me is on Twitter at Rendax, REN_DAXT. I'm always down to talk Buccaneers football. And seriously, guys, everyone out there in Panther Nation, good luck this weekend.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate that.
And I guess if you guys want to get in touch with me, you can find me at Brent Allen Live on all the social medias, or if you want to come talk Buccaneers with Panthers fans,
You never know, man. You never know.
We're at the Pewtercast on Twitter and on Facebook as well. You know, and if you want to come back and just tell us how right we were after this game, and how well rested our players are going to look because of the sports science department, and you know, we'll listen to you.
All right. Sounds good. That being said, guys, thanks again for joining us, and we will see you guys on the next time. All right. Peace out.
All right, peace out, guys.